Hi, everyone. This is author Tiffany M. Davis. I am the author of the Bastille Family Chronicles and the upcoming Sebastian Scott novel entitled Blizzard, which comes out in a couple of weeks. I am taking advantage of, since I'm already recording, I am just letting you know what I'm reading this week. And this is a book called Who Fears Death? And probably it's all backwards because I have not figured out how to flip the image, but you get the point. Anyway, it's called Who Fears Death by Nnedi Okorafor, and she is a speculative fiction fantasy author of Nigerian descent, and she is an award-winning not author. She's been published in Arthur Clarke's science fiction magazine, Clark's World, Strange Horizons. She's got chops, and I got actually first heard of her when I lived in San Francisco some years ago. And San Francisco has a very wonderful public library. And I actually came across Who Fears Death. It was one of the featured books. And I was like, I'll check it out. Never heard of her because, I'm always open for finding a new author to love. And I was hooked. The store, and I found it, crossed my mind one day. I got a Kindle gift certificate and needed to break it in. So that's what I did. I found uh, Who Fears Death on ebook and got it. Yay. And read it again, and it was just as good the second time as was the first. The book is about, and yes, I'm flipping through because it's a bunch of names that I really need to look at and pronounce. Uh, the protagonist of the story is a girl called, okay, hold, Onye Sonwu, and that's Onyesonwu. And the name means who fears death. And Onyesonwu is a girl who they call her Iwu. She was a child of rape. And in this time in this city, everyone was African, and so they had dark skin, except for the Nuru, which was the tribe from which her biological father belonged, and his tribe was very light, fair skinned with more uh, Caucasian features, and her mother's people, who were the, oh, come on, what are they called? Oh, come on, doggone it. Oh, had I not been looking for the name, I would have found it. But hmm. Anyway, her mother's people were dark, with more African features, wider noses, hair and things like that. And children who were born of rape, the Iwu, when these two tribes, whenever their bloods intermingled, they came out with skin the color of sand and hair the same and light eyes. So you could look at the child and automatically know that they were either raped or the forbidden product of a Nuru and why can't I find the tribe? Ark. Uh, anyway, and the other tribe because it belongs with an O. Anyway, she Onyesunwu is she can do magic, and it turns out she's a shapeshifter, and she tries to get training at this house of magic. Okeke tribe. So the Nuru and the Okeke tribe, which are uh, and they're enemy tribes, and actually they have a religious book called the Great Book, and in the Great Book, the Okeke are the slaves of the Nuru, and a very interesting parallel to real life. But that's a whole nother story for another day. And so Onyesowu's mother is Okeke, and her father was Nuru. Anyway, Onyesowu is trying to learn magic and how to control her magic, and the magic elder in the village will not teach her because she's female. And she keeps trying, and she's finally accepted as a pupil because it shocked him when he realizes that there's this prophecy saying that this child's going to bring balance to uh the OKK people. It's kind of Star Wars in a way, you know, how they said that Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, was going to bring balance to the Force, and he ended up doing so in a very roundabout way. So if you've never seen a Star Wars, you're in for a treat. Go back and see it. All of them are out now. Anyway, so I digress. So Onyesowu is, you know, she goes on this journey. She learns her magic. She meets another Iwu boy. His name is Muitu, and you know they fall in love. They have this really true love. He looks like her physically, and you know he has his own brand of magic, and it's growing pains with them as a couple because she's stronger in magic than he is. He's more of a healer, and it's those dynamics. What do you do when you have more talent than your mate, especially when it's a talent that your mate wishes he or she had? So that's another little sub dynamic, and it's a wonderful story. So it follows Anya So's journey from an outcast girl to, you know, trying to. She actually goes to look for her biological father who raped her mother because he's this really evil sorcerer, and he's just like he built this army, and he's just weighing lace to Okeke tribes all across the desert, which is where she grew up, and it's her job. She wants to stop him. So she goes forth from her village with her mother's blessing, trained by this magician, and she tries to fight her father. And the journey to that fight is pretty epic. So I highly recommend Who Fears Death by Nnedi Okorafor. And if you also get a chance, she has a collection of short stories out called Kabu Kabu. That's KABU dash KABU, which is pretty eclectic collection of stories. So if you're not in the mood to sit down and read a whole novel, check out her short stories. Either way, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Thanks a lot, and thanks for stopping by.